Hey everybody, welcome back to Frank Conversations. My name is Zoe. Okay, so World War III has officially started. Like, I'm not even playing. Okay, so yesterday, Iran got its leg back. On the 1st of October, Iran got its leg back, officially defended itself from Israel. You know, and they sent about 200 missiles, ballistic missiles, and the Iron Dome couldn't intercept probably not even like a 5% of those missiles. And more than 20 fifth generation F-35 fighter jets were destroyed in Israel. So Israel, it has started. And after that, Israel has said that it's going to defend themselves again. But they started this whole thing. All right. So let's just go back a little. Okay. On October 7th, Hamas, which is the resistance group in Palestine, decided to launch an attack on Israel because they have been suppressed and they have been under the apartheid regime for almost, I think it was since the 1940s, if I'm not mistaken. So they launched an attack, and Israel, therefore, after that, decided, no, they're going to defend themselves. Okay, good and well. The only problem with Israel is that when they defended themselves, they didn't defend themselves onto Hamas, right? They kept on saying that Hamas is using the civilians as the civilians of Palestine as human shields, but there were actually more civilians that died than Hamas fighters, resistant fighters. Right? It meant that Israel was deliberately killing the Palestinians, which is why South Africa ended up taking Israel to court, because it doesn't make sense, because now it looks a lot more like a genocide than it does a war, right? So fast forward a couple of months later, the Houthis decided, it's a resistance group from Yemen, decided they're going to have a blockade in the Red Sea, in the Mediterranean, so that Israel doesn't get basically things that usually gets to Israel, maybe the oils, the artillery, guns and all of that. So they blocked the Red Sea. They've been shooting those ships left, right, and center, and most of them don't go through. So these ships end up going through South Africa, Cape Town. Okay, South Africa, the same South Africa that it took Israel to the ICJ, the same South Africa that does not want to close the embassy of Israel, that's South Africa. So tell me where South Africa is standing. But anyway, Asikolab, they have a blockade there. And then Hezbollah, which is a resistance group in Lebanon, decided, no, you need to stop. And we're going to help Hamas. You're going to help Hamas and the Houthis fight this whole situation. So they said to Israel, we need a ceasefire. If there's no ceasefire, this is how it sounded. If there's no ceasefire, then we are going to start blowing you up the way you are blowing the Palestinians up. And then these ones were like, try us, and they tried them. And then they decided, you know what? Okay, now we're going to bomb your civilians. And I think that's the thing about Israel. They don't fight fair. It's not like a war they're fighting. It's a war against civilians. They're fighting people who don't have guns, people who don't have shields, people who are not going underground, or who have access to these underground tunnels. They're literally fighting children and women who have absolutely no dealings with these fighter groups, right? And so fine, now part of the Middle East is in support of Palestine, and parts of the Middle East is in support of Israel, right? Places like Jordan and the UAE are supporting Israel. I'm assuming those are the ones that actually really like the money. So now Israel decides, you know what? You guys play too much. What we are going to do from here on, while we are busy killing the civilians of all of these countries that are supporting Palestine, including those of Palestine, what we're going to do now is going to start assassinating your leaders, right? And nobody's saying anything. Mind you, the West is not saying anything about these terrorist acts. Okay, so now they started off assassinating the president of Iran, right? Ibrahim Raisi. right? They assassinated him, and Iran got its leg back. It wasn't that serious, right? After assassinating Ibrahim Raisi, and remember, when these people assassinate these people, it's not like Ibrahim Raisi alone, right? Because Ibrahim Raisi, they attacked his plane, right? So all the people who were on the plane died, including some of his top ranking officials, right? So those people died. After the assassination of Ibrahim Raisi, they assassinated the leader of Hamas, right? Ismail Haniyeh, right? And then after that, mind you, they're still not getting their leg back. People are not fighting them based off of what they have done, okay? And then after that, a few days ago, they assassinated the Secretary General, the man himself of Hezbollah, Saeed Hassan Nasrallah, right? Who is the top guy. And they're also assassinating the top officials, right? And so it's been going on like this, that, okay, while we are busy killing people, we are not killing the soldiers, we are not killing the fighters, okay? The people that are actually at war with us, no. We're going to kill civilians, and then we're going to attack one by one these top leaders. But the nice thing about these resistance groups is that they have the most impressive succession plan. It doesn't matter if you kill a leader today, tomorrow they'll have like somebody who succeeded the leader. They have somebody in that chair tomorrow or the day after. So I don't know, like Israel thinks that if they assassinate or keep assassinating these leaders, then the mission somehow gets deterred, or somehow they're not going to, end up fighting them, or they're going to be confused or something. But here on the ground, we can see, like, it doesn't really matter whether you kill their leaders or not. These people are on it, So that's what I'm saying, like, the succession plan is sick, These people don't mourn forever. It's like, while you guys are killing their leaders, they feel like their leaders multiply, So basically, that's what's been happening. And remember, last week also, Israel, put explosives in pagers and in walkie-talkies, which killed more people in Lebanon, civilians in Lebanon, right? And they're still killing people in Palestine. Don't think Palestine has stopped. It has not stopped. So it's that now we are here. Now we are killing people in Palestine, and then now we're killing people in Syria, and then we're killing people in Lebanon, and then it's Iran. Now Iraq, right? So Israel is in the middle of the Middle East, and they are busy just like killing everybody in the Middle East. Like, I don't know what the plan is, but from what I can see, it's a war. They want a war. Why do they want a war? I think it's because they can see that the Western hegemony it's done. Like, the West authority over the world is done, except for Africa, because we still keep giving them, even though we don't have to anymore. But they can see they are losing money. Israel has been downgraded by Moody's. America is in debt, like trillions upon trillions in debt. And they can't even help their own people after a hurricane. There was a hurricane a few days ago, Hurricane Helene. They couldn't even help their people there, but they're busy sending like guns and machinery and everything to Israel. So a war is what they want, because they don't want to lose this authority over the world. And this is the only way they're going to reset. Inevitable, because they need a reset. After a certain period of time, the hegemony of that time falls. The supreme people of that time falls. And I think everyone is realizing that they are falling, and they have realized that they are falling, and they cannot fall, because now there's BRICS, and BRICS is a curse to this generation, to them. And so they can't just fall. they're not going to go down without a fight. And I feel like at this point, they don't care who they take with. So a war is what they want, and a war is definitely what they are going to get. And Iran has tried to be patient with them. Iran has tried to not be so, aggressive with Israel, but Israel has just kept on and on and on, and it's been killing people, and it's been killing babies and all of that. And people have been saying, like, but why is the Middle Eastern countries not fighting back? Now they have started fighting back. And mind you, these countries all have nuclear stations, and we don't know where we're going to stand. We are in trouble. A lot of African countries don't have that nuclear. I mean, it's great for the world's safety, but it's not great for where the world is right now, because I don't even know where we stand with our military forces. Should something happen to us here in Africa, I mean, obviously we're going to get affected because we are part of these groups. And even if it's like monetarily affection, but we are going to get affected one way or the other. I mean, we are part of BRICS, and we are part of the United Nations. We are part of all these things. So we're going to get affected. Oil is probably going to be more expensive if they blow Iran's or whatever. It's going to be litty. And we have families in these countries, and people don't want their countries being affected alone. Imagine if those countries decide, no, if you're ruining my country, then we're going to ruin America. Since we have families or whoever living in America. And if America says no, and then it just continues and goes on and on and on. So it's World War III. It's World War III, like I said. It's just how prepared we are for it as countries, and especially as African countries. How prepared are we, when it comes to this kind of situation? Because Israel and America, in fact, Israel and the West is not letting off. They want a war, and they're going to get a war. They've been wanting a war. Netanyahu has been asking for a war for a while. He is the reason a lot of countries in the Middle East are the way they are, including Iraq and including Libya. He's the reason. And he always gets the support of America. He always gets the Western support, because it's like Israel is like this little child, this little spoiled brat whose father has money. He's just going to throw money at him. It doesn't matter what he does. So the war has begun, and we'll keep updating you as to what's going on, how it's going, and how it's affecting us. So keep watching. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for subscribing and liking and commenting. And please, please, please don't forget to keep subscribing. Peace.